You reflect who you are to the people around you. Stop being an empath, be the light of everyone's life. Make it contagious. You can't change the world without showing the world how much you have changed. This is me. Or this was me. I was unhappy, working constantly but never had any money. Wanting to help everyone else by trying to be the life of the party. Imagine in life you have a set number of cookies. These cookies represent whatever speaks to you the most. So I've been saving my cookies, and I met another person that didn't have nearly as much cookies as I did. So I share mine with them every time I see this person. They start to expect these specific cookies. If I decided to give them sugar cookies, they would be upset. Until I had the chocolate chip cookies they were used to from me. I slowly start to notice that I may not have enough for both of us. So I would start to give them my share of cookies while I ate off the crumbs. I've given up my last cookies to them, hoping they would just be okay with just me. So I go see them. They expect this cookie from me and I don't have it. They get mad and they stop coming around as much, searching for others with these cookies that they're so used to. Now I'm alone with no cookies, starving and devouring every kind of cookie I can get while in my own suffering. I met someone who I recognized, another soul that would give out their cookies. But I have become the same cookie monster that I set out to help, and found myself doing the same thing. I never healed from the problems of someone else taking what was mine, my happiness. And I set the same monster out that terrorized me onto someone else. Someone who tried to save me that I really loved. Everyone else just wanted something from me, and I screwed it all up with this one person. So there I was, back in the same self-created hell, sitting with the same monster by my side that was now a pet. Most people will settle with old problems instead of striving for new solutions. The stronger resistance that you feel, the more important it is to do that thing. Imagine the resistance as a dark, gloomy cloud, and the only way to get to your bright, sunny day is to walk through that rain. Trudge through the forest so you can experience your dreams. We don't search for what's true, we search for what is true enough. Hide and seek is the ultimate game of our existence. We constantly hide from our true selves, constantly seeking comfortable lies and excuses over hard truths and a purpose of meaning to our lives. You need a meaning to offset the tragedy of life, otherwise you suffer. But a person who does not crave cannot suffer. I didn't know what to do. I was sad and alone again, wondering how come every time something good happens, I have to sabotage myself. It was if I was programmed to continue to be this bad person. But evolution only comes during great times of stress. And at my lowest, I started to realize how selfish I had been. To the ones who loved me the most, and most importantly to myself. I would much rather run with the monsters at night because I didn't recognize who I was during the day. I had issues investing all my time, effort, and money into instant gratification and all the monsters that I kept close to me because they were familiar, whether that be addictions, habits, or friends. Now, I see our addictions and emotions as hundreds of tiny little babies living inside of us. Now, what happens when we focus on ourselves? The baby starts crying. So we feed it its bottle, or whatever comfort it needs. Now, think when we are primed for something like our phone's dinging, of course we could ignore it, but then we get a bit of anxiety, we start to itch. Who could it be? Does someone need me? Only to look and find disappointment. Probably a stupid ad to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Sorry, I couldn't resist. If we continue to give the bottle to the baby every time that they cry, they will expect it. You must deprive it from the comforts we take into abundance, or we will just have a fat baby that's always craving more. Me. When we give in to our cravings or addictions, we are essentially feeding that baby and reinforcing its behaviors. But if we can resist those urges and focus on our own growth and healing, we can starve that baby and eventually overcome our addictions. So, I stopped everything. The piece that made me feel whole was gone, and I only had eyes on getting that piece back. I took the bottle away from that monster that I called my pet, but I started to get antsy. Too much energy focused on my uncomfortable cravings, but instead of giving into the whispers of my demons, I put all that energy into drive to walk through that rain to get to my sunny day. I knew that nothing but love would set me free from my suffering. So I stayed focused on all the consequences of my ego and I tried to fix them. The promises I put off, I just started crossing off my list.
My name is Earl.
I didn't expect anything back. I just wanted to show people that my love for them is real and that I was sorry. Stop making excuses for the stuff I can control and stop complaining. I would start to make things right through my actions, and at night I would say the things I would want to happen and what I was grateful for. Prayers, manifestation, magic, or quantum physics, all different terms that give us the same outcome that no one argues about, but they're different terms that only separate us. There's plenty of research on prayer or meditation. My favorite books on the subject would be Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza or The Power of the Subconscious by Joseph Murphy, which basically explains that our thoughts control our whole world's perspective and direction. If I'm constantly thinking about the past, then of course I'll continue to live in it. So what if I kept pretending that I'm living in the future my choice, ignoring all the problems and focusing on the goal of the future I wanted? It's basically the concept of, if I want a hamburger and I'm constantly thinking about said hamburger, my feet will obviously start to find something at least close to that hamburger, at least a sandwich, that will hold me over until I get what I want. But if I had to call in a big order, it might take a while to show up. So I should prepare my body and environment for this big order. So through living in my own creative future instead of the hell my ego's actions created for me, I was more drawn to ideas that would walk me into the right direction, instead of feeling like I was sitting in a two-way road watching everyone pass me. Throughout the next year, I got rid of that pet monster by starving it and focusing on me. And now, when I see them, it's more like an old friend I'd be able to catch up with for one night, but we both know we won't see each other for a while. I lost over 100 pounds. I got my other half back. And instead of having monsters in my life, the only one now that I deal with is the increasing stack of books that I am attempting to read. It's important to remember that change takes time and effort, and it's okay to stumble along the way. It's easy to get stuck in our past mistakes or present struggles, but if we can focus on the vision of the future we want for ourselves, we can start taking steps towards that goal. That requires a lot of mental discipline and willingness to let go of a lot of negative thought patterns and self-limiting beliefs. But with determination and self-reflection, you can become the best version of yourself and live a fulfilling life.